The Monster with 21 Faces, Japan's most bizarre unsolved crime. In the spring of 1984, Japan, a nation known for its safety, was gripped by fear. A shadowy group, calling themselves the Monster with 21 Faces, launched a campaign of terror against two of the country's biggest candy companies: kidnapping, arson, poisoned candy on store shelves, and taunting letters that mocked the police at every turn. For 17 months, they held Japan hostage, and then vanished without a trace. This is the story of the Glico-Morinaga case, a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. On March 18, 1984, Katsuhisa Ezaki, the 42-year-old president of Ezaki Glico, was relaxing at home with his family. Glico was a household name in Japan, famous for Pocky chocolate sticks and caramels made with health-boosting oyster glycogen. But at 9 p.m., that quiet evening shattered. Two masked men, armed with what later turned out to be a plastic pistol and rifle, broke into the home of Ezaki's 70-year-old mother, Yoshi, next door. They tied her up with a cut telephone cord, stole the key to Ezaki's house, and stormed in. Ezaki's wife, Mariko, and their children were tied up. The intruders dragged Ezaki, naked from his bath, into a waiting car and sped off into the night. They demanded a staggering ransom: 1 billion yen, about $10 million today, and 220 pounds of gold bullion, the largest ransom ever demanded in Japan. But 3 days later, Ezaki escaped from a warehouse in Ibaraki, Osaka. After his captors replaced his handcuffs with rope, he couldn't identify his captors. The police were stumped, and the nightmare was just beginning. Weeks after Ezaki's escape, the culprits revealed their name: the Monster with 21 Faces, inspired by a fictional master thief, the Fiend with 20 Faces. From Edogawa Rampo's 1936 detective novels, they seemed to relish outsmarting everyone. On April 8, 1984, they sent a taunting letter to police. Written in Osaka dialect, they bragged about using a gray getaway car and buying food at Daiei supermarket, daring the police to catch them. "Shall I kidnap the head director, the prefectural police?" They mocked. Then, on April 10th, arson struck Glico's headquarters. 6 vehicles were set ablaze with gasoline-soaked cushions. On April 16th, a plastic container of hydrochloric acid was found in a Glico building in Ibaraki, with another threatening note. By May 10th, the Monster escalated. They claimed to have laced $21 million worth of Glico candies with potassium cyanide and threatened to place them on store shelves. No poisoned candies were found, but the damage was done. Glico pulled all products, losing $20 million and laying off 450 part-time workers. By the end, the company reported a $130 million drop in sales. In June 1984, the Monster suddenly stopped targeting Glico. In a bizarre letter, they wrote, "In our group, there's a 4-year-old kid every day he cries for Glico. It's a drag to make a kid cry." But their mercy was short-lived. By September, they turned to Morinaga, another candy giant known for haichu. On October 8, 1984, a letter addressed to moms of the nation arrived at Osaka news agencies. It read, "When you think sweets, it's Morinaga. We've added some special flavor, the flavor of potassium cyanide. It's a little bitter, but it won't cause tooth decay." Police scrambled, searching stores from Tokyo to Hakata. They found 21 packages of Morinaga. Choco balls and angel pie, labeled danger, contains toxins, each laced with lethal sodium cyanide. Thankfully, no one was poisoned, but Morinaga's sales dropped 60%, forcing them to lay off 450 workers and seek government aid to survive. The Monster also targeted Marudai ham and house foods. demanding millions in yen, but never collected the ransoms. Japan was in a panic. Who was this group, and what did they want? The Glico-Morinaga case, officially Metropolitan Designated Case 114, became Japan's biggest manhunt. Over 1.3 million police officers across 5 prefectures investigated 28,000 tips and questioned 125,000 suspects. A breakthrough seemed near when a security camera caught a man in a Yomiuri Giants baseball cap placing Glico chocolate on a store shelf. Dubbed the videotaped man, he was believed to be the monster's leader. Another suspect, the fox-eyed man, was spotted during a ransom drop from Maradai Ham in June 1984. Described as well-built with short, permed hair, he slipped away when detectives tried to follow him on a Tokyo train. In January 1985, police released a sketch of the fox-eyed man, suspecting Manabu Miyazaki, a Yakuza boss with a history of exposing Glico's illegal waste dumping in the 1970s. But Miyazaki had a solid alibi and denied involvement. The monster seemed to know the police's every move, always one step ahead. By August 1985, the investigation had taken a toll. Superintendent Yamamoto of Shiga Prefecture, leading the manhunt, was under immense pressure. On August 7th, he walked into his backyard, doused himself in kerosene, and set himself alight. The monster's final letter arrived 5 days later. They declared, "We are bad guys. That means we've got more to do than bullying companies. It's fun to lead a bad man's life." And with that, the monster with 21 faces vanished. No more letters, no more poisoned candies. The trail went cold. 4 decades later, the Glico-Morinaga case remains Japan's greatest unsolved mystery. Here are the leading theories. Many suspect the Yakuza, Japan's organized crime syndicates, were behind the monster. The group's knowledge of Glico's operations and their ability to evade police suggest a professional network. Manabu Miyazaki, the Yakuza boss, was a prime suspect due to his past disputes with Glico, but his alibi held, and no concrete evidence linked the Yakuza to the crimes. Some believe a former Glico or Morinaga employee, fired or wronged, sought revenge. The monster's detailed knowledge of company operations, like the side staff entrance at Glico, hints at an insider, but 125,000 interviews turned up no credible suspects. Glico and Morinaga's stock prices crashed during the scandal. Could the monster have been investors betting against the companies, profiting from the chaos? The timing of the stock drops was suspicious, but no evidence of market rigging was found. In the 1980s, Japan's economic boom created tensions between corporations and workers. Some speculate the monster was making a statement against corporate greed, inspired by the 1955 Morinaga arsenic scandal that killed 138 infants. Their letters, mocking both police and companies, suggest a desire to humiliate the establishment. The Glico-Morinaga case shook Japan, a country where only 27 kidnappings were reported in 1983. The monster's campaign led to copycat crimes for years, including a 2014 extortion attempt. The statute of limitations expired in 1995 for Ezeki's kidnapping and in 2000 for the poisonings, meaning the monster can never be prosecuted. Katsuhisa Ezaki, now in his 80s, still leads Glico and told the Japan Times in 2000, "I haven't forgotten the crime, but I don't want them to repeat this kind of crime." The monster with 21 faces remains a ghost, their identity and motives lost to history. Who was the monster with 21 faces? A criminal syndicate? A vengeful employee? Or something else entirely? For 17 months, they terrorized Japan, outsmarted the police, and vanished without a trace. Share your theories in the comments below. If you want more mysteries like this, hit like and subscribe for weekly true crime stories. And to the monster, if you're still out there, Japan hasn't forgotten you.